Why do so many girls believe in astrology? I think it gets promoted a lot in magazines and their e-versions and in celebrity culture and some fashion. So I think it may be some early exposure, and then just like other beliefs, the pattern-seeking mind kicks in and you start seeing ways that it could be true and you ignore the misses. I don't think I know a single guy who believes in astronomy. I would hope you do, because astronomy is a real field of science, unlike astrology. One thing I haven't seen mentioned yet is internal versus external locus of control, or the perception of how much we control our own destiny versus how much we believe our destiny is controlled by external forces. Eastern European women are much more into astrology than American women. Why? Well, in Eastern Europe, things were done to women far more than women were able to do things. Women in the US feel they have more control over their destiny. In Eastern Europe, Russia or Germany invaded or didn't, and the women were expected to serve the men no matter what happened. External locus of control. This highlights a difference between women in different regions. Men are largely raised to think we determine our own destiny. We can protect ourselves against bad men and don't need to find someone to protect us against bad men. Making money has historically been much easier as a man. Might contribute to locus of control difference between men and women in general. This isn't scientific, and I don't mean to present it as factual. It's an idea based on personal experiences of an Eastern European immigrant spouse and many discussions with many people interested astrology, tarot in our local Eastern European immigrant community, most of whom immigrated in the years following the collapse of the Soviet Union. Women believe in Cancers and Scorpios, and men believe in Alphas and Betas. A lot of girls don't actually believe in astrology per se, but we find it fun as a concept. Like, I don't believe that the month someone was born in defines their personality, but I still like reading horoscopes cause it's fun. Where I'm from, at least, women are the ones historically associated with being healers and doctors. Back in the day, that involved a lot of folk beliefs, including witchcraft and the belief in the supernatural. Astrology is just one form of such beliefs, and was thus typically passed down from mother to daughter. When I was younger, my mother passed me down a couple of her old astrology books that her own mother got her when she was young. For some people, it's just a passed down tradition that happens to originate from gendered professions. I don't think I know a single guy who believes in astrology. We just call it stock market, or crypto. It's all the fun paranormality of religion without the misogyny. Women believe astrology, men believe Joe Rogan. I think astrology is popular with girls and some gay men, and also just a lot of people in the LGBTQ+ community in general, because it gives them an explanation of why people do the things they do. It's like MBTI. It just explains someone's personality. But astrology is different because it involves cosmic energy and the alignment of planets. Honestly, it's all confirmation bias. It runs so deep in them that they will refuse to believe it's just another fun little hobby and not actual science. I used to like astrology because it's fun to see patterns in people I've met. But as I got older and met more people who are into it, it made me highly uncomfortable with how serious they are about it and not taking accountability for their own actions, blaming it on Mercury in retrograde. Lol. Astrology is marketed heavily towards women. This example is probably out of date, but you don't see astrology pages in traditional men's magazines, but they are in every traditional women's magazines. Also, you don't see masculine write-ups that would appeal to a young men. They are aimed at young women. Now obviously this is gendered stereotypes, but that is how the marketing world works. Whether someone agrees or not is besides the point. Same reason people believe in religion. It's just something to believe in. Myers-Briggs is astrology for psychology majors. Most of these comments just show how little people understand astrology. Astrology is mainly tracking the placement of the plants and stars in the sky. Then it documents the things that happen during certain placements. From there, various forms of astrology that assign some meaning to each planet, constellation, what have you, and it can be used to explain or predict events or moods, for lack of a better term, of a specific time. Like any other spiritual practice, that belief requires that you suspend your disbelief for something you can't see. It's no different in that aspect than any other religion or spiritual practice. Now, for why it appeals to women more than men. It's one of the very few religions or spiritual practices that isn't oppressive to women. Men obviously don't find this as appealing as a religion that puts them in positions of power, and women who have left an oppressive religion will find it attractive and may be seeking something to fill the spiritual void that occurs from leaving their previous religion or practice. I'm sorry. We have men who believe in alpha male pseudoscience, men who believe in Scientology, men who believe in all sorts of crazy things, yet you choose to single out women. The search for meaning is part of our existential nature, and one of the things that defines us as human, as is the development of and participation in ritual and community. As we navigate our experience by defining our place in it, historically, women have been excluded from positions of power or otherwise defined by gender in major religious, spiritual institutions. It makes sense that women would be drawn to alternative systems of meaning when looking to find themselves reflected in the world. I think it helps people understand their identity, like Myers-Briggs tests and other personality descriptors. Whether they're true or not, I think people just want to try to understand themselves and their personas. Human nature. Nothing wrong with that. Also, don't think it's just women. I know men who are into astrology as well. But it's sexy and cool to be in touch with the more wooey side of life. I think the same impulses that make a lot of women do this makes men want to ride a hog cross country. Free your spirit, man. Be cool and walk your own way, etc., etc. It's fun. Genuinely that simple. You get a special animal, planet, color, and everything. I'm friends with a lot of people that do all that astrology stuff. Mostly LGBT people, tbh. Not just girls. And not a single one of them truly believes in it. Usually it's an A. It's probably not real. But hey, it might be. And it's fun. And I have free time. So why not do it? The same approach one might take to ghosts. It's basically just a fun thing to do, an explanation of life. And gives that coveted illusion of control to people. It also gives the participants a way to connect with each other. The social aspect of it. With something to talk about. Quite a bit like religion, actually. Except I don't see nearly as many people asking why people believe in religion and making fun of them for it. And usually people are way more invested in their religions. But they're not teen girls and minorities. So they're harder to make fun of. Right? Edit. Also my bad. I forgot I exist on Reddit and the internet, where religion is often the subject of criticism. To put it lightly, I have been welcomed back to the real world. Sadly. I don't understand why people keep judging them. Even if they do fully believe in it, they're not doing anything wrong. And it's actually kinda fun. Like, have you ever had someone give up their personal time and cosmic energy, I think, to do a reading for you? or had a lengthy conversation about birth chart and moon risings and whatever, laughing at how wrong or right it is. Or even had someone ask you your birth sign. You tell them, and you either get an exclamation that they never would have guessed or, "Oh, that explains everything," and you laugh and get to talk about why? TLD, or it can be fun. It's a conversation started. It gives a sense of control. And it's just a way to connect with people. Much like many religions of today and throughout history.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.